Hey everybody, this is T-Ray from H10 Hanshin Tigers English News. As you probably already know, if you're watching this video, thanks for tuning in. And with me today is Sanjay. How you doing, man?
Aloha, brother T-Ray.
Good to see you. And I love the garb, man. You're looking great.
I had to go get my wardrobe person to dress me up here.
Well, I approve of your wardrobe person's choice. Good stuff, man.
Right.
So we just finished recording episode 125, and we talked about how good of a start the Tigers are off to. Obviously, with the 700 record, 700 winning percentage so far, it is probably not going to continue at that great of a pace. But
Oh, come
nevertheless,
on now. What do you mean?
okay, let's make history here. I guess it could happen. It could happen. I mean, there have been better final season records than this, but well, it remains to be seen. But as we mentioned in the show, we have our two latest imports on turf here, or at least somewhere in their apartments, whatever, in a hotel in Japan. That would be Mel Rojas Jr. and Raul Alcantara. If you're watching this, welcome to the team. I doubt you're watching this, but hey,
Oh,
I may
welcome.
end up bumming into you guys at some point. So get familiar with T-Ray because he's coming to find you. I'm just kidding. But Sanjay, have you ever met any of the players like in person, or do you know any of the players, former players, I should say, or current players, or?
Current players, no, but former players or players while they were playing back then, yeah, I've met a number of them. I've had the fortune of having mutual friends and so on.
Wait, but you told me that was it last off season or last January, like 2020, that Yuki Nishi was going to your gym.
Oh yeah, he was working out my gym, but it's not
There
like
you
I
go.
really met him. I
No, no.
I I said "Otsukare sama" to him, and he stopped and nodded, which is a lot more than Mr. Toritani did when I said that to him.
Well, yeah, that's cool though, man. I mean, like, I have not ever met a current Japanese Hanshin Tiger player, but I have met several foreigners, and I found the place to meet them. That would be on Roko Island. But I mean, I've known for a while where they live, right?
Sure,
And
yeah.
I'm not going to share my secrets with everybody out there, but Roko Island in Kobe is where they tend to be put, and they've got really nice places there. So last Wednesday I was there, and I actually, I mean, I've known the Sands family pretty much since their arrival here in Japan
That's
last
cool, yeah.
year.
Hmm.
Yeah. So my wife and Jerry's wife are, I guess, friends. They're line buddies, just like me and Jerry are line buddies. And
Hmm.
so we were there for a separate appointment, and my wife sent a message to his wife and just said, "Hey, we're going to be on island, so to speak. Do you want to meet up?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure. The kids are just getting out of school at that time, so why don't we go to a park together?" So we met up with them, and his kids are a blast. I mean, they're just like little Jerry's. But
All right.
I played baseball with Sands, not with Jerry Sands, but I played baseball with his kids. So there you go.
There you go. That's the
I
claim
even
to fame.
I struck them out, man. The 6-year-old and the 4-year-old. Woo! Just kidding.
You showed who's boss.
Yeah. Big man I am, right? So anyways, it was cool, but then all of a sudden the kids wanted to show our kids some of their stuff, and they're like, "Oh, we left it in our house." So they started to run back to the apartment, and before you know it, we're heading into the Sands apartment. It's
That's
like,
cool.
oh, yeah, that's fun. So as we're heading in there, my wife and Jerry's wife were quickly, chasing after the kids, and I was kind of taking my time. I was trolling behind a little bit. But I guess Jerry's wife said hi to somebody, and my wife was like, "Oh, you know everyone." And she turned to my wife and said, "That's Joe Gunkel." And then my wife was like, and she turned to me and she goes, "Trevor, it's Joe, it's Gunkel, right?"
Uh-huh.
Um, so there you go. She got to see him. I only got to see the back of his head. He was on his way out to work out, I guess, or to jog or whatever. And so I saw him anyways. He's a tall man. And then we hung out at the Sands apartment for a little bit. I got to see some of like I saw Jerry's like elbow pad and shin guards just like sitting on the floor in the corner and stuff. And so I was just kind of fun. I was like, you said, I was like, a real piece of player's equipment right before my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, if she's looking the other way, I can grab it and run. Never would
Yeah.
I do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for it on eBay.
Yeah, exactly. And so is he. And then I'm busted, just like the Giants player who stole from his teammates in their locker and
That's
then
right.
sold his stuff on Yahoo auctions. Idiot.
shaking my head.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do that. But so then after that we were walking back to the place where we had our appointment. And all of a sudden we were walking, and it's funny, my wife is the one who's more perceptive than me, or runs into people more than me. And she's all like, I think that's John Edwards. And I was like, or no, maybe she even said like, I think that's John Edwards' baby, because he was holding the baby. And
Wow.
because they've come to our church before, so, and my wife,
Oh, right.
just like many women, just love babies and kids. And so I think she recognized the baby from like 100 meters off or whatever, right? And she's all like, I think that's John Edwards' baby. And so
Yeah,
sure enough,
never mind
yeah,
whoever's holding him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She didn't even say John Edwards. She said the name of the baby, but I'll keep that confidential. But so
Right,
yeah,
right.
so I walked up, and my wife said like, oh, is that Nani Nani Kung? And he looked up and it's like, yeah. And so then I talked to him just for 30 seconds, and he was like, oh yeah, my wife's just over there with the other kids. And so it was neat. It was cool talking to him. It just so happened, of course, that he is on the farm team. And I
Hmm.
think on that day, like it was mid-afternoon, so he should have still been at the game if he had been scheduled to make an appearance. But I think more so on the farm than on the top squad, they kind of tell guys ahead of time, like, we're going to use you today or we're not going to use you today. And so I think probably he was told, like, I think it was a Wednesday, maybe last Wednesday, maybe. And I think he was just told, like, after practice, you can go home or whatever. And so that's what he did. So good on him. But so that means that I met John Edwards before I met Jerry Sands, whom I interviewed a couple of months ago. So that's just kind of interesting. But
Okay, so you've never met him though. You've obviously what is it? Zoomed with him.
yeah, I've Zoomed with him and I've never met him in person.
Oh, I wasn't aware
I've
of that.
Yeah, I've met his wife and kids several times, but never met the man himself. He's said that he'll come out to our church if he ever gets a Sunday off, but you know what baseball is like. That's probably
Yeah,
not going to
it's not gonna
happen.
happen.
So,
No,
yeah,
not during the
yeah,
season. Yeah.
yeah. But so I guess like, well, I also never got to meet Justin Bohr. A couple of my friends did, but I didn't. But I spoke with his wife throughout last season, and have arranged, or not arranged, I have gotten an agreement to do an interview with him. But I've had several encounters over the years with players. Some of them like quite random, and some of them quite pre-planned, or you know what I mean, like quite natural.
Yep. Yep.
But so I ran into Merton once by accident. I ran into Messenger, Haig, Mateo, Gomez, and Coach O'Malley in Okinawa, but that was during spring training, so it's not such a huge surprise. I bumped into Haig when I was on my way into Dolis's apartment once, and that was arranged. I didn't break into the apartment. I was invited.
A good distinction to make there. Yeah.
I'm a
Okay.
good citizen, and the police have nothing on me from watching this video. Who else? I met Jason Rogers I met actually Rogers, Mateo, and Dolis outside of, or at a hotel in Hiroshima after their game.
Hmm.
And then other than that, I don't think I've met anyone else, but except, I mean, current players, like I met Randy Bass and maybe a couple other former players. But
Right.
yeah, I'm really enjoying being H10 and kind of having this little inside track to meeting guys. And so I'm hoping Mr. Rojas, Mr. Alcantara, I know that both of them know Jerry Sands, so that could be my in. If I can pull some strings with Jerry, I might be able to get something going on there. But I think for now, like, so when I talked to Jerry about doing the interview a couple months back, he had told me that while they were in quarantine, self-quarantine, when they got to Japan, they were not supposed to speak to the media during that time.
Ah, okay.
They were instructed to just kind of like lay low. And so I'm guessing that even if I try to reach out to Mel or Raul, they're probably not going to answer any messages or anything like that anyhow.
Yeah, it's probably a fair point.
So, I mean, they're a mystery to me as much as they're to everybody else, I guess.
Interesting. I guess it makes sense from the PR department's perspective that they don't want anything getting out without their control, kind of thing.
Yeah, they got to keep things, on the straight and narrow. And because, the media is going to scrutinize anything that the player might happen to say. And if they have not yet been properly, I guess, trained in media protocol with Hanshin, which I think is different than it would be in North America or in Korea or wherever it might be, right? I think they want to make sure that they've got all of that stuff straight with the players before they set them free to talk to media.
I'm thinking of exhibit number A, Mr. Matt Merton and his comment about Mr. Nomi.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that was a fun one. I don't know if you caught the video that I did interviewing him.
Yes, I did
Um,
actually.
Great.
It was a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love the backstory on the Nomi-san thing. What was more the post story, right? Because it wasn't about the incident itself, but the post Nomi-san Aishiteru Heroes podium,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is a classic moment of the past decade. So there you have it. That is us in a nutshell. H10. We're chasing players, but more than that, we're just trying to enjoy talking Tigers and keeping the whole community informed and enjoying fanhood of this awesome team. So Sanjay, we already kind of did predictions on the show, but I got a question for you that I didn't quite get out on the show. Currently, Okamoto and Oyama, well, heading into yesterday's game, they were tied with a lousy batting average, no home runs, and I think Okamoto had 4 RBI and Oyama had 2, but now he's up to 3. Wow.
Right.
Who's going to hit the first home run between them, and will it be today or tomorrow during this Giants Tigers series?
Remind me again who's pitching tonight for each team?
Hatake for them and Ito for us. And then tomorrow it's going to be Akiyama for us and not, Takahashi for them. So they are going righty lefty and we're going lefty righty.
So I'm going to say Oyama first and it'll be tomorrow.
Okay.
Sorry, fans. You're not going to see Oyama fireworks today, but it's okay. We'll win.
You know what? I have a feeling that it could happen today. And the only thing that I have to back me on that is the fact that he hit a foul ball yesterday that was really close to being a home run. So I think like he found his timing, at least on that one pitch, and that could lead to him finding it today, despite the fact that, he is going against a righty. This is a guy that Hiroki Uemoto has a home run against. And that was such an awesome moment from, I think, 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Actually, Oyama had a couple of good foul balls. He went left, foul left, and then foul right, and foul right again. So he was getting some good wood on the ball. It was just not staying between the poles.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to say Oyama as well, simply also because I just could not respect myself if I said Okamoto. But I am a little bit worried just because Ito, a rookie lefty, is going up against Okamoto. So, he's going to be seeing the pitches from, a little bit clearer than Oyama tonight, perhaps. But then on the other hand, Ito does have a bit of a tricky delivery. Sands himself said that, but then also we can see it, just like you were saying, I think in one of our shows, like you love how he raises his glove hand.
Right hand glove, yeah.
Yeah. As he's doing his delivery. So it does kind of throw things off for the hitters. So let's hope that tonight is the night that Oyama gets that number 1, maybe even number 2 up on the board for home runs, and go Tigers go.
Let's do it to it, man.
Thanks, Sanjay. It was fun. Do it again sometime soon.
Yeah, maybe even tomorrow. We'll see.
Excellent.